Hi, this is Gabor Hoichi, and I decided in the middle of April 2020 it's about time to record another update on upgrade status module because we've improved a lot of things in this module in the recent times, so it's worth taking another look. So this module helps you review your current status of known Drupal 9 incompatibilities on your site. And it received a lot of improvements recently to make that even better. So you need to install that with Composer. And once you install it, it sits in your reports upgrade status. And one of the nice new things is an automated checklist of your readiness for Drupal 9. Drupal 9 upgrades are supported from Drupal 8.8 and 8.9. So this will automatically check if your version of Drupal core is able to upgrade to Drupal 9 directly. If it's not, then you will first need to update to Drupal 8.8 or Drupal 8.9 once that one is available. So that's a key requirement that we help check for you here. And then the environment requirements of Drupal 9 are also detailed in the documentation, but it's much better if there's actual automated testing of whether your environment meets those requirements. So here we are checking the PHP version, database versions. We also have checks for MariaDB and PostgreSQL and SQLite. We are checking Apache. If we find that you're using Apache, and we are checking Drush. So Drush is of course not a core requirement, but the Drush maintainers decided to only support Drupal 9 from Drush 10. So we are checking if you have a globally installed Drush, it should at least be version. You have a site local installed Drush. It should be at least version 10. We are not currently checking globally installed Drush. If we're not finding site local Drush, then we display this message as an information that you should check for yourself. So this is a new checklist feature in upgrade status. And then what's not new is checking of custom projects and contributed projects, but these have a whole new set of features again. So let's say we want to check these two, git deploy and upgrade status itself for new versions, for deprecation errors. So one thing that this is getting us is available update information. That's not new. It was there before, but it's worth a note that it informs you about available updates, which are usually useful for updating contributed projects. For example, I have git deploy 2.0 alpha 1 here with some commits, and it says 2.0 stable is available. And if I check errors found in this version, 2.0 alpha 1, it tells me that the info file does not say that it's compatible with Drupal 9. So hopefully when I update it to 2.0 stable, it will include a fix for the info file, and that will be fully Drupal 9 compatible, in which case it will show all green here. This is a new check in upgrade status, checking for info YAML file and compatibility with info YAML file keys. And so you should not only keep your core up to date, but also your contributed modules up to date, because they just keep improving compatibility. Another thing that we are displaying in upgrade status and is also not new is information about Drupal 9 plans from the project. So we pull this directly from the Drupal.org project pages. These are the links for what issues are in the upgrade status project for Drupal 9 compatibility. And if we look at the actual errors here, then it's the errors that we used to find with the previous versions as well. So deprecated functions, deprecated constants, PHP fail errors, etc. A few new things in upgrade status are checking for twig deprecated syntax use. So here we find that the twig raw filter is deprecated in a test module in upgrade status. We check the info YAML file, as I said. We also check the composer JSON file for projects. If the core requirement is present and is not correct, then we tell you about that too. And we link to documentation for these. So for example, the deprecated twig syntax use, you click on the documentation and it leads here. That is a whole documentation page about preparing for use of Twig 2 in Drupal 9. So you can read about all the changes there. Same thing for the info files and for Composer JSON requirements. So these are new things. These are not in Drupal check. So if you're using Drupal check, then Twig checking, info file checking, Composer JSON checking is not supported there. Some of these checks require Drupal to be bootstrapped, and Drupal check does not do that. So this takes advantage of us having Drupal bootstrapped in this case. We also check deprecated theme function use and theme function definitions, and deprecated library use and library definitions and library inheritance as well. That also would need to have those test modules enabled for them to be in the runtime for those to be reported. Because it requires runtime data checking in Drupal once again. So these are new features as well. So we get a lot more of the errors reported by upgrade status now, which is great. But you still need to understand these errors manually and fix them. So a relatively new project that I would like to call to your attention is Rector, Drupal Rector, which Palantir is very actively working on. So if you go to drupal.org/project/rector, then this is the project page and the code is hosted on GitHub. It's not a Drupal module, but it's an independent tool. And this could be used to actually generate patches for fixes for these issues. And I also built a UI module on top of this. So if we go back to our module list, then I have the upgrade Rector module, which we can use to generate patches for modules. So this sits in the reports upgrade Rector screen, and it allows you to pick your projects and generate patches. So let's say I want to generate patches for upgrade status. There was a bunch of errors there. And so what this says to me is there's nothing to patch in here, which does not mean there is nothing to fix. So it says it either means that the project is entirely Drupal 9 ready, or due to the limited number of transformations, there was just no transformation applicable to fix there. I have a slightly outdated version of Rector, so I don't have all the transformations available here. But the transformations are growing, and there's a Rector release every week that introduces new ones. Now, if I run the same Rector on upgrade Rector itself, which has test code that we can generate patches for, that will show the patch generated that changes the Drupal set message calls to messenger calls, and it tells me which Rector was applied. If there's more Rectors available that fixes issues in your modules, then this will generate a patch for you, and you can use this export patch feature to export a patch, and then you have a patch available that you can post on the issue queue for the module. In this case, this is in test code, so obviously we're not gonna fix any of these. But if they are invalid code, then you can post this on the module. So one other good thing about upgrade Rector is that this also sits into the upgrade status UI. So if we now go back to upgrade status, then upgrade Rector row will have a patch available line, and upgrade status will have a nothing to patch line. So here you can also review the patch and export it. And you can use this UI to generate a patch for the scanned project. So this will run upgrade Rector as well as upgrade status on the project. So you can run the scan and get a patch. Rector would normally fix the projects in place. This would be quite dangerous on a runtime site like this. It could break your site if the fix is incorrect. So the fixes usually require human review. So in this case, we just do a dry run of Rector that generates a patch for us, and then we can look at that and export it and then review it later. As you can see, there's more problems found in upgrade status itself, some things that don't have Rectors available currently. So this is the combination of upgrade status and upgrade Rector. Once you install upgrade status, it also exposes a drush command, so you can use it from the command line as well. It exposes an upgrade status analyze command that requires a project name. So let's say we want to analyze upgrade status itself, and then it's processing upgrade status for us, and it gives us a result of the problems in an ASCII table form, basically the same results that you can see on the page. So this could be used to put in a CI system or save it somewhere to monitor for what are your errors exactly. It also supports exporting errors in check style format. So you can use the upgrade status check style command, check style command, to generate output in check style XML format. So this you would usually use by getting the actual output into an XML file. So you get your notices here, and then you have your XML file as an individual file with all of the reports. And this is understood by basically any tool that supports check style XML format and has error levels and line numbers and file names and all the errors presented from the tool itself. So you can integrate this into whatever other system you want and use this to track your readiness for Drupal 9 as well. So these are the new things in upgrade status and the first introduction video to upgrade Rector. I hope you continue to contribute to upgrade status, your test results and fixes. And I would highly encourage you to go and contribute to Rector, because the more of these transformations we can automate, the easier it's going to be for all of us to fix deprecated API use in contributed projects. Thanks for listening and enjoy using the tools.